my name is Martin. Welcome to a new WeaselWood project. In today's episode I'll show you the making of the WeaselWood sign from the header. I tried to use Photoshop to make a header, but I messed it up completely, so I decided to make an actual sign. Also, I think it's more entertaining to show you the use of some more or less heavy machines than me sitting by a computer and scratching my head. So let's get started. For this project I used a very cool looking piece of pear wood. I already planed it on the front side, so I had a nice and straight surface to work on. Today you would normally use some kind of CNC milling machine to carve letters in wood, but I don't have one. Christmas is over and Santa didn't throw one down the chimney, so I had to make it the old school way. I printed the letters out and glued them on the dedicated position with spray glue. For the carving I used my router with a 6mm end mill and set the depth to about 5mm, so there's enough space for the filler. It's pretty important to have a steady hand and give yourself enough time to carve the letters. If you hurry, it's more likely that something goes wrong. After the carving was done, I deburred the edges roughly and made a final cut to get the letters smoother. I blew the dust away and the letters were ready for filling. Usually you would use some black dyed epoxy and pour it in the slots, but I didn't guard it in time, so I used wood filler and black dye from the local hardware store. It worked, but it was not ideal because the filling I used had some sand mixed in, which was a hassle to grind. Anyway, always make sure that the whole slot is filled with the filling and there are no air captured under the surface. The filling had to dry overnight, and after it was hardened, I started to sand the excess down. Unfortunately, my camera ran out of juice and I didn't notice it, so you missed about 20 minutes of grinding, and after the grinding I put some wear marks on the ends of the sign with my chainsaw. Beside that, the sign is finished, and I needed to decide which background I want to use. I had some other planks laying around, but they didn't fit very well. But the oaken board I had from another project seemed to be the right one. It's always fun to start up the saw. The width of the board already matches, so I cut the piece to length and put a chamfer of 30 degrees on all 4 sides. Yeah, that's the look I wanted. I gave it a rough sanding and went to the next step. The sign should become a worn out look, so I put it outside and gave it a slight touch with the blowtorch. That worked nice and the sign looked about 20 years older. To intensify the color I gave it a fine veneer of oil. I wanted to mount it to the wall, so I needed to drill 2 holes as hangers and 2 holes to screw the pierwood sign to the back panel. The hanger holes had to be sunken to snap on the head of the screw in the wall, so I pre-drilled them with my Forstner drill bit from the front. I eyeballed the center of the sign to the back panel and screwed it on. The sign should hang over my bench, so the final step is to drill 2 holes in the concrete and use dowels and screws to hang the sign on. And if you want to drill in concrete, there's nothing better than a Hilti. Our shop finally have its name. Thumbs up for that. Now look at this. Isn't it beautiful? A giant mess and a WeaselWood sign in the background. Stay tuned for upcoming videos. Thank you for watching. Please support me with a subscription and maybe a thumbs up if you like this video. Have a nice day.